Dive into the wild world of 1970's Little Big Man, Arthur Penn's bold satire on the American West. Meet the cast that made it legendary, like Dustin Hoffman and Faye Dunaway. Fast forward to 2025, then and now, exploring their lives today or their enduring impact. Number 1. Kelly Jean Peters as Olga. In 1970, at just 30 years old, Kelly Jean Peters captured hearts as Olga, the devoted yet tough wife of Jack Crabb, navigating the brutal frontier with grace and grit. Her nuanced portrayal balanced humor and tragedy in Arthur Penn's epic. Post-film, her career flourished with roles in the horror sequel Poltergeist II in 1986, voicing lively characters in the animated Jack Frost in 1997, and guest spots on beloved series like Quincy M.E. and Bewitched, highlighting her range across genres. Today, at 85 years old in 2025, Kelly Jean Peters continues to inspire, gearing up for several new film projects that showcase her timeless talent and unwavering dedication to storytelling. Number 2. Aimee Eccles as Sunshine. In 1970, at 21 years old, Aimee Eccles shone as Sunshine, one of Jack Crabb's young Cheyenne wives, embodying innocence and fleeting joy amid the chaos of the frontier. Her fresh, heartfelt performance added emotional depth to the film's satirical take on cultural clashes. After Little Big Man, she starred in the thriller Pretty Maids All in a Row. In 1971, alongside Rock Hudson, tackled prison drama in the concrete jungle in 1982, and appeared in Stallone's Paradise Alley in 1978, building a solid resume in diverse genres. At 76 years old in 2025, Aimee Eccles remains vibrant, sharing insights in a recent March 2025 interview about her time with Dustin Hoffman, proving her enduring passion for cinema and storytelling. Number 3. Jeff Corey as Wild Bill Hickok. In 1970, at 56 years old, Jeff Corey brought gravitas to Wild Bill Hickok, the legendary gunslinger with a mix of charm and menace, enriching the film's wild tapestry of Western myths. His subtle intensity made the role unforgettable. Blacklisted in the 1950s, Corey pivoted to teaching acting, mentoring stars like James Dean, while resuming a prolific screen career with over 100 films, including noir classics like The Killers in 1946 and Brute Force in 1947, plus TV staples. Jeff Corey passed away on August 16, 2002, at 88 years old from undisclosed causes, leaving a profound legacy as both actor and influential coach in Hollywood. Number 4. Richard Mulligan as General Custer. In 1970, at 38 years old, Richard Mulligan delivered a hilariously arrogant portrayal of General Custer, the bombastic military leader whose hubris drives key plot twists in Little Big Man. His comedic timing amplified the film's anti-war satire. Transitioning from Broadway debut in All the Way Home in 1960, Mulligan excelled in sitcoms like Soap from 1977 to 1981 as the lovable Burt Campbell, and Empty Nest in the 1990s, earning 2 Emmy Awards for his warm, versatile charm across stage and screen. Richard Mulligan died on September 26, 2000, at 67 years old from colorectal cancer, remembered for his infectious humor and heartfelt performances. Number 5. Martin Balsam as Mr. Merriweather. In 1970, at 51 years old, Martin Balsam excelled as Mr. Merriweather, the quirky Cheyenne scout and storyteller whose wisdom grounds the narrative's absurdity in Little Big Man. His Oscar-winning pedigree from 1,000 Clowns in 1966 shone through. Balsam's career boomed with iconic roles in On the Waterfront in 1954, 12 Angry Men as the jury foreman in 1957, Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961, Cape Fear in 1962, and The Carpetbaggers in 1964, spanning drama and thriller with unmatched authenticity. Martin Balsam succumbed to a stroke on February 13, 1996, at 76 years old, his versatile body of work continuing to captivate audiences worldwide. Number 6. Chief Dan George as Old Lodge Skins. In 1970, at 71 years old, Chief Dan George enchanted as Old Lodge Skins, the wise, poetic Cheyenne chief and Jack Crabb's spiritual guide, infusing profound dignity and humor into Little Big Man's critique of colonialism. His performance earned an Oscar nomination. Born in 1899, George's late-blooming career included the Oscar-winning Harry and Tonto in 1974 as a feisty senior, and the outlaw Josie Wales in 1976, breaking barriers for indigenous actors with his soulful presence. Chief Dan George died on September 23, 1981, at 82 years old from heart failure, his trailblazing legacy inspiring generations in film and Native representation. Number 7. Faye Dunaway as Mrs. Pendrake. In 1970, at 29 years old, Faye Dunaway mesmerized as Mrs. Pendrake, the fiery schoolteacher and passionate lover of Jack Crabb, blending vulnerability with steely resolve in Little Big Man's turbulent romance subplot. Her magnetic intensity elevated the film's exploration of love amid chaos. Fresh off Oscar wins for Bonnie and Clyde in 1967 and Network in 1976, Dunaway dominated with iconic turns in Chinatown in 1974 as the enigmatic Evelyn Mulray, The Thomas Crown Affair in 1968, and 3 Days of the Condor in 1975, cementing her as a trailblazing leading lady. At 84 years old in 2025, Faye Dunaway graces classic film screenings and tributes, her timeless elegance continuing to captivate audiences worldwide. Number 8. Dustin Hoffman as Jack Crabb. In 1970, at 33 years old, Dustin Hoffman led as Jack Crabb, the shape-shifting survivor whose epic journey from white settler to Cheyenne warrior skewers American hypocrisy in Little Big Man. His transformative, chameleon-like performance earned critical acclaim. Hoffman's stardom exploded with The Graduate in 1967, followed by Midnight Cowboy in 1969, 2 Oscars for Kramer vs. Kramer in 1979 and Rain Man in 1988, and versatile roles in Tootsie in 1982 and Hook in 1991, showcasing his unparalleled depth across decades. In 2025, at 88 years old, Dustin Hoffman dives into exciting projects like the sequel Tootsie 2 and The Revisionist, proving his enduring genius and passion for cinema. Number 9. Carole Androsky as Caroline. In 1970, at 28 years old, Carole Androsky touched hearts as Caroline, the innocent younger sister of Jack Crabb, whose tragic fate underscores the film's brutal frontier violence. Her poignant, understated delivery added raw emotional layers. Androsky's career featured memorable TV roles in The Waltons from 1972 to 1981 as Nurse Mary Ellen, the disaster epic Dante's Peak in 1997 with Pierce Brosnan, and voice work in the Bewitched remake in 2005, blending heartfelt drama with genre versatility on both big and small screens. At 82 years old in 2025, Carole Androsky enjoys a well-deserved retirement, her warm performances still resonating with fans of classic television and film. Number 10. Cal Bellini as Younger Bear. In 1970, at 35 years old, Cal Bellini commanded as Younger Bear, the fierce yet loyal Cheyenne warrior and Jack Crabb's brother-in-arms, infusing Little Big Man with dynamic energy and cultural authenticity. His athletic, expressive style amplified the film's action sequences. Bellini's diverse career spanned the spy thriller The Satan Bug in 1965, the western The Plainsman in 1966, and guest roles on TV series like Mission Impossible in the 1960s and Hawaii Five-0 in the 1970s, showcasing his charisma in adventure genres. Cal Bellini died on April 9, 2017, at 81 years old from undisclosed causes, remembered for his bold contributions to on-screen diversity. Number 11. William Hickey as Historian. In 1970, at 43 years old, William Hickey intrigued as the eccentric historian, framing Jack Crabb's tall tale with wry narration in Little Big Man. adding a layer of meta-humor to the Western satire. His distinctive gravelly voice set the tone perfectly. Hickey's career peaked with an Oscar nomination for The Ancient Mafia Don in Prizzi's honor in 1985, alongside memorable villains in The Sentinel in 1977 and his final frail role in Mouse Hunt in 1997, where he filmed while battling illness, showcasing his resilient stage-honed talent from Broadway beginnings. William Hickey died on June 29, 1997, at 69 years old from emphysema and bronchitis, his quirky legacy enduring in cult classics. Number 12, James Anderson as Sergeant. In 1970, at 49 years old, James Anderson menaced as the brutal sergeant, a symbol of military cruelty in Little Big Man, his snarling authority heightening the film's anti-war edge during the chaotic shoot. Tragically, he passed mid-production. Best known for the racist Bob E. Lee Ewell in To Kill a Mockingbird in 1962, Anderson's gritty resume included westerns like The Ballad of Cable Hogue in 1970, released posthumously, film noir staples, and TV westerns, building a tough guy archetype from his 1950s TV breakthrough. James Anderson died on September 14, 1969, at 49 years old from barbiturate overdose, his raw intensity leaving an indelible mark on cinema. Number 13, Alan Oppenheimer as Major. In 1970, at 40 years old, Alan Oppenheimer barked authority as the Major, a pompous officer clashing with frontier realities in Little Big Man, his booming delivery amplifying the satirical bite on bureaucracy. His commanding presence fits seamlessly. Oppenheimer's voice work defined generations, voicing Skeletor in He-Man from 1983 to 1985, the wise Merlin in The Sword in the Stone in 1963, and roles in Westworld in 1973, plus live action in Love American Style, spanning animation and sci-fi with effortless versatility. At 95 years old in 2025, Alan Oppenheimer thrives in voice projects and stage tributes, his iconic tones still echoing in new animated series and fan conventions. Number 14, Thayer David as Reverend Pendrake. In 1970, at 43 years old, Thayer David embodied sanctimonious fervor as Reverend Pendrake, the hypocritical preacher whose sermons mask darker impulses in Little Big Man, layering moral complexity into the narrative. His resonant baritone elevated the role. A Brattle Theater co-founder, David's stage roots shone in Broadway's St. Joan, while screen work included the sinister Dr. Guthrie in Dark Shadows from 1967 to 1971, and films like The Eiger Sanction in 1975, blending Shakespearean depth with TV soap intrigue. Thayer David died on July 17, 1978, at 51 years old from a heart attack, his commanding portrayals cherished by theater and film enthusiasts. Number 15, Philip Kenneally as Mr. Kane. In 1970, at 56 years old, Philip Kenneally schemed slyly as Mr. Kane, the opportunistic merchant peddling dreams in Little Big Man's rugged outposts, his oily charm underscoring economic exploitation themes. His veteran poise grounded the ensemble. Kenneally's post-war career featured TV dramas like The Young Lawyers in 1970 and The Outsider in 1968, plus films such as Garden of the Dead in 1972 and A Bit in MacArthur in 1977, drawing from his early radio days to deliver reliable character work in ensemble casts. Philip Kenneally passed away on December 14, 1998, at 84 years old from undisclosed causes, his steady contributions adding texture to mid-century Hollywood. Number 16, Jack Mullaney as Card Player. In 1970, at 41 years old, Jack Mullaney bluffed with sly charm as the card player, a gambler in Little Big Man's seedy saloons, his twinkling mischief adding levity to the Western's darker undercurrents. His Broadway-honed wit sparkled in brief scenes. Mullaney's eclectic path included the comedy classic It's a Mad, 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 Mad World in 1963, TV's Gilligan's Island as the professor's rival in 1965, and films like The Underdog in 1968, blending stage polish with lighthearted supporting turns across 1950s variety shows. Jack Mullaney died on June 27, 1982, at 52 years old from a stroke, his buoyant spirit fondly recalled in comedy lore. Number 17, Lou Cutell as Deacon. In 1970, at 40 years old, Lou Cutell preached with ironic piety as the Deacon, a frontier holy man whose fervor masks opportunism in Little Big Man, his nasal twang heightening the satirical jabs at religion. His comedic timing shone in cameos. Cutell's quirky resume featured Seinfeld's creepy Dr. Tim Whatley in 1995, Curb Your Enthusiasm's flustered roles in the 2000s, and films like The Mirror Has Two Faces in 1996, drawing from vaudeville roots to deliver memorable oddballs in TV's golden age. Lou Cutell passed away on November 21, 2021, at 91 years old from undisclosed causes, his eccentric charm enduring in sitcom classics. Number 18, Emmet Walsh as Shotgun Guard. In 1970, at 35 years old, Emmet Walsh guarded with grizzled menace as the Shotgun Guard, a no-nonsense stagecoach protector in Little Big Man's dusty trails, his weathered face embodying raw frontier survival. His understated grit complemented the film's epic scope. Walsh's iconic run included the crooked detective in Blade Runner in 1982, the sleazy boss in Blood Simple in 1984, and over 200 credits like Raising Arizona in 1987 and The Big Lebowski in 1998, mastering everyman villains with his distinctive drawl. Emmet Walsh died on March 19, 2024, at 88 years old from cardiac arrest, his vast legacy as a character actor giant unmatched. Thanks for watching this journey through Little Big Man's timeless cast, from their 1970 triumphs to legacies that echo in 2025. Relive the film and share your favorites.